Hello, hello! Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. It's the second time the burn has actually popped up. The first time, DPS refused to join the queue and ruined my intro, and I wasn't. There was literally nothing else for me to do, so I stopped recording, and this is recording attempt number 2 because of that foolish DPS who couldn't hit confirm. Probably not foolish, but he's probably on a toilet break or something. Anywho. Got Y'shtola and Alisei on Falcons, and everybody else on the Yols.
Make ready, friends! We are come to the burn!
Everyone, land where you can! We must wait out the storm!
I guess they flew over this once when they flew in to be the cavalry for the Alamigo, the Siege of Alamigo. Listen to that piano. You got some boulders falling here. What's interesting is you can actually get the enemies to take extra damage from the boulders. It's not really that important though. I'm just doing it to show it off. It's kind of hard to hear, but the music is like supposedly a remix of the Praetorium theme. Stormblood was like their bagpipe expansion. I didn't get Black Knight on in time. Ah well. Wouldn't be the first time that happened. We want to be behind one of these crystals for when Shardfall happens. And new crystals fall down. Oh, I missed the cast bar on that one. Those AoEs will break the crystals if they're too close, so be careful with that. Like I said, the healer just broke one. That's okay though, because either it'll die so quickly that it doesn't matter, or we can just take the hit. Because the vault stack disappears after the... Oh, I should have spent some poetics. Could have done that. I forgot to check. Oh well. Oh, I got some elegant shit. Kind of surprising. This Astrologian I can be nice to. They placed their Earthly Star well after the pull had come to a stop. On my main earlier, I ran into this Astro that was like, they put their Earthly Star where they thought I was going to wind up, and then they used Rescue to try to pull me into it. Like, a lot of Astros, they think that their Earthly Star is more important than the tank positioning of the monsters correctly, so that the DPS can have, you know, optimal time hitting the monster. And it's just silly. Of course, it's kind of an issue because, like, people don't normally play other roles, and it's like the reason the Astro had the problem with the Earthly Star when I was doing my expert roulette on my main, because he was obviously unaware that most of the monsters in the pulls contain caster monsters, which means if you want to actually group them correctly and group them up as quickly as possible, that you prioritize moving the monsters around the casters. And due to the nature of how they spawn, it can actually be quite difficult. Oh, I wasted my blood weapon. After this, look for the one that's defective. Because that's the one that's not gonna do that. Although it makes me wonder why the small ones explode and the big one doesn't. That's the tank buster. And it actually smarts quite a bit. So it's like some sort of old Allegan, like, railroad, underground railroad or some shit. And there's like sandworms that have been boring through it, I guess. And that is one big sandworm carcass. Got ant lions out here. What do these things eat? Now that was a bit of a hasty press of Earthly Star. That's okay. If you can be nice to your astrologians, then that's good. Because, like, if there's no caster mobs, then there's almost no reason why you can't just go and, you know, move the pull into their star if they put it down too soon. But, you know, it's the mark of a good astro if they just wait to put it down, because there's no reason to want to put it out ASAP. The amount of healing it gets by turning into Earthly Dominance or Dominant Star or whatever is very negligible. This would have been a better pull for arm's length, because everything in this pull is physical. That's my mistake. Oh well. Storm's clearing up. All sorts of falling down Allegan things. What's the boss gonna be? Don't you wonder? Green-eyed dragon. I haven't seen one with green eyes before. That's a very powerful tank-busting ice breath. And it leaves a trail of ice puddles between the tank and the... Now you don't want to strike it while it's missed, just like in Final Fantasy IV, which is what it's a reference to. Because if you do, you'll get imprisoned in ice. Just like the dancer did. the mist. See the crashed ship out in the distance. Must be Alphanod's ship. This boss is one of the hardest dungeon bosses that they made. Just people just don't like they can't handle it. You know, it's not actually that hard, but a lot of people just have issues with it. Many wipes in the dungeon for that sort of thing. It's kind of a cool glam. Man, look at that fucking heckin' chonker of a sandworm. You know, it probably died of starvation. Get that big, you know, what else, what could you do to possibly maintain? How many other sandworms would you just have to fucking eat? Yeah, there's like some sort of Allegan like thing over there, and you know, now that the storm has cleared up, the sky is looking real blue. You can go back through the entirety of the dungeon and look at it, and it looks, you know, a little bit more pretty. But, yeah, we don't have all that kind of time, so let's move along.
Ah, there you are. Between contending with bloodthirsty beasts and sand in my every conceivable place, I had begun to despair of finding you again.
Look at their party setup. There's a white mage, a red mage, a samurai, and a ninja. And we're all different jobs in this shot. I kind of like it.
Do you recognize the crashed ship over yonder?
Sure do.
Mistress Alizé and I briefly inspected it. It is the vessel that bore Master Alphino away.
But there was no sign of him, nor of Maxima and his people.
War Machina. It would seem they were involved in a struggle. There may be clues. We should split up and search the area.
These were no ordinary soldiers. Over here! The insignia on this man's uniform identifies him as one of the Emperor's personal guard.
Hand-picked soldiers, answering only to the royal family.
That would explain why all the casualties are Garlean. They were fighting their own.
You're saying the Emperor was behind all this? That Alphino is his prisoner?
Aye, we must not jump to conclusions. Besides, Alphino is more than capable of looking after himself, is he not?
I suggest we return to Doma to consider our options. Whatever happened here, Master Alphino is long gone, and any subsequent search may safely be left in the hands of the shinobi.
Where in the world are you, brother? If you die on me, I will never let you hear the end of it.
She's gonna do reverse haunting. Like Klaus in Umbrella Academy. Foreign emissary, huh? Good. Ah, it's Lise.
Lise! What brings you here?
Teleportation, I would hope.
Oh, Alliance business. We have a request for Doma. Well, Hien. But that can wait. They told me you were out searching for Alphino. Did you manage to pick up his trail?
It went cold in the burn. Ironically.
Well, if he wasn't at the crash site, he might still have escaped. We have to keep searching.
And we will. Alphino embarked on this journey as an emissary of Doma, and I hold myself responsible for his safe return. I will have our shinobi in the provinces search for him as a matter of urgency. Chin up, Alize. You'll get to admonish your brother for his recklessness yet.
Well, someone has to do it.
I'm sure he's going to be fine. There is one thing I'm not sure about, though. You said it was the Emperor's personal guard that attacked Alphino's airship. But the Popularis would never have been able to arrange the prisoner exchange without Varys' blessing. So why would he sabotage his own mission?
They may not have been acting on Varus's orders. The guard answer not only to him, but to his family, the Crown Prince included.
When Yotsuyu summoned Tsukuyomi, Asahi was quick to proclaim that a dormant citizen had violated the terms of our agreement, that the negotiations had failed. And it is this version of events that is now being repeated across Garlemald. To hear the tale, one would think the prisoner exchange never took place. Plainly, someone is manipulating matters from the shadows. Most likely Xenos, or whoever it is that wears his face.
Whichever Ascian you mean. We all know the nature of our adversary.
Adversary? It's adversary. Come on now.
The servants of Chaos are true to their name. Their meddling has cost Dorma a chance at peace. Whoever it was that loosed his personal guard, the Emperor cannot be ignorant of these developments. We must proceed on the assumption that our treaty is indeed in tatters.
Isn't it more of a truce? Specifically for the prisoner exchange?
But come, Lys. You have journeyed far. Let me hear your petition.
Is anything really far when you
Right.
can teleport?
So the big news is that Alamigo has agreed to join the Eorzean Alliance. To make it official and discuss where we all go from here, the leaders of the 5 nations are planning to hold a meeting, and we were hoping you might come too. We've already seen what we can achieve when we work together, and the Alliance hopes to work even more closely in future. They think it's our best hope of keeping the Garleans in check, and I agree.
As do I. By coordinating our efforts in the east and west, we may be able to discourage them from committing their forces to a single front. I accept your invitation. I must, however, ask for time to attend to some pressing matters here. In light of recent events, the risk of Imperial reprisals is greater than ever, and I would not leave Dorma unguarded. Ere I depart, I must shore up her defenses.
Understood. I'll let the Alliance know. We'll wait to hear from you before setting a date. The meeting's to be held at the Royal Palace in Alamigo, incidentally. Do you remember the way?
Well enough. Please assure my hosts that I will not keep them waiting any longer than I have to.
Consider it done. And thank you for agreeing to come. If we all put our heads together, we're sure to find the best way forward. For everyone.
Oh, a word in private with Lys, huh? We gonna get a quickie at the docks? Nah, probably not. It's probably gonna be, yada yada. I feel bad about being the resistance leader and not being able to help the Scions more, yada yada. Please look after Alice, yada yada. Just teleport. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to add another few months to Stormblood's time clock. And that only makes this ridiculous time bubble that the development team won't, you know, what's the word? Elaborate on. All the more ridiculous.
If we are to ready ourselves for invasion, we shall need manpower, provisions, and time, all of which are in notably short supply.
Candid as ever, you giddy. And correct, I concede. Fortunately, I have an idea. 'Tis plain no single nation can stand against the might of the Empire. And it was only with the aid of others that Dorma succeeded in winning her freedom. So, I mean to take a leaf out of our Eorzean friends' book and form an alliance of our own. In addition to those with whom we already share an understanding, I would reach out to Hingashi and Suinosato, and further afield to the myriad peoples of Nangsha and Dalmasca. I am under no illusion. Not all will answer the call. Yet disparate though we may be, we are united in our desire for freedom. If our neighbors could be made to see what is at stake, Ascian machinations and all, cooperation need not be so far-fetched a notion.
It may even seem practical. Under the guidance of our former leader, Master Louis Soir, we once strove to unite the fractious city-states of Eorzea. I dare say that experience shall be of use in your endeavor.
We should be glad of your wisdom.
For the record, I would have been in favor of this plan even if it hadn't been my grandfather's, but I have to ask, how will we secure the time to carry it out? Not that anyone has forgotten, but the Garleans have airships. Lots and lots of airships. Should they catch wind of our plan, they could send an armada to overwhelm us before our alliance had even begun to take shape.
Not if we deny them access to the skies. During our time in the Burn, the Warrior of Light and I chanced upon some Allagan ruins.
Oh?
As such ruins go, they were not particularly unusual. But something about the surrounding land struck me as odd. Faint though it was, its ethereal residue was uncannily similar to that of Azizlar. Identical, in fact. For locations so far removed to share a single etheric signature is all but impossible. I conclude, therefore, that the Allagans created the floating continent with land taken from the Burn.
While that is a most intriguing theory, I fail to see what relevance it has to Dorma's defense.
Azizlar was enclosed in a powerful energy barrier, impenetrable even to an Agrius-class battleship. It occurred to me that those ruins may have enjoyed similar protection. I have no proof, but the Warrior of Light did report seeing a structure resembling other known Allagan field generators.
All right. But even if we could put up such an energy barrier, it surely wouldn't extend beyond the limits of the Burn. So what's to stop the Garleans flying around it?
Fuel. The Dalmascan capital, Rabanasta, was a key Imperial refueling point in the east. By laying waste to it as a lesson to the rest, the Empire greatly hindered its own operations in the region. If an Imperial fleet were to advance upon Dorma, it would now have little choice but to travel, as the crow flies, over the Burn.
I see.
a word of caution. Even assuming the generator still functions, raising a barrier of such a scale will require a prodigious amount of energy. And few places are so bereft of suitable crystals as the burn.
A source of energy. Tell me, did the Allagans make a habit of launching things into the sky?
A curious question. Besides Azizlar, I know of only one other notable instance. The Red Moon Dalamud, whose fall triggered the calamity.
Just the 2 occasions, you say? Then I believe I may have a solution to our energy problem.
You do?
I may. To find out for sure, we would need to visit the Azim Steppe. Which would, I now see, present the perfect opportunity to discuss an alliance with the Zayla tribes. How very neat. What say you then? Shall we see whither this road leads?
Seems legit. Okie dokie. Let's see, we've been recording for about 40-ish minutes. Trying to think about cutscenes. I know what's coming up, I just can't remember how long it takes. But she's blind. She has to use ether to see. I doubt she's seeing it in the same way we are.
I will never tire of this vista. The endless fields, the boundless skies. 'Tis a sight to make a man forget his cares.
But not his purpose, I trust. Might this be a fitting moment to tell us what we are doing here?
Of course. During my time with the Mole, I learned some few myths of this land. One goes thus. In the distant past, when all seemed doomed, a wayfaring soul came unto the steppe. Venturing into the northern crag, he received of Nama a sliver of her essence, a shard of the shining moon, and with it clove the tainted land from the earth. The end thus averted, To these fields did the wayfaring soul return, and venturing once more into the northern crag, he buried the shard, and made unto the heavens an offering of blood.
A tainted land cloven from the earth, and an offering of blood to the heavens. Azizlar and Dalamud.
That was my thinking, yes.
And you believe that yonder mountains hide an artifact possessed of sufficient power to raise Azizlar up to the heavens? I suppose that might suffice.
Worth a closer look, would you say?
I would.
Phew. Good thing Heon had that myth ready and loaded. We were about to get Sassy Cat bitch face. I don't mind Yshola's snark all that much, but you know, for some reason she makes me so angry now. Like when I replay and watch her cutscenes and things, it's like there's no reason for you to be quite that bitchy, right? Because like it's gone beyond sass at this point. Like it's like she's practically talking down to others. It's really annoying. No, they deserve to be prideful. Every land in the Far East, huh? House with the Crooked Coin. Yeah, we'll take the Rude Boys tea. I kept calling it Rude Boy tea when it was new. The Will of the Moon, huh? When Stormblood was new, and I glossed over this because I didn't really show it off at all, but this particular thing, this House of the Crooked Coin Cave, it made me really curious about what it was. You can see those glyphs written on it and stuff. They kind of match the glyphs that you see in Fractal Continuum hard mode in the Ultimate Weapon or Ultimate Warrior's room.
Such an abundance of ether.
Are we in luck?
We are. This is an Allagan artifact, most likely built to regulate the flow of ether. I strongly suspect the ancients used it to stem the flow from here to the burn. That would explain how they were able to untether what became Aziz's La from its surroundings. But were we to throw open the floodgates, the resultant deluge would surely be sufficient to raise our wall. And in restoring the flow, we may also restore life to the wasteland.
What is it?
While the device itself harbors a surfeit of ether, the opposite is true of the surrounding area. An effect of regulation, perhaps. A similar phenomenon seemed to be occurring in Doma. Whatever the explanation, the answer will not reveal itself here. We have seen what we needed to see. Let us return to Mol Ilo.
Here's a side quest you can do where a Zayla girl from one of the tribes, I don't remember if it's... I think it's the Dotharl tribe, but it might be another one of the tribes. But either way, it's... She goes up there to... basically to kill herself, and you have to escort her and kill monsters. When she gets there, she throws herself, you know, into the cave, down the steep drop, and goes splat. Got about 9 minutes left in the recording. We might be able to get to the next cutscene out of the way. We shall see. We're almost entirely done with Stormblood, by the way. We're in 4.4 now, I believe. And that leaves the rest of the story for 4.4, then all of 4.5. There's one more dungeon. We've still got the Wreath of Snakes to do. We've still got to go get Yojimbo unlocked for, I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but the trial at the end of the Hildebrand quest line is going to be Yojimbo. I still got to show off Heaven on High, and I think that's it. Although I might show off, if I can get my friends to help me out, I might show off some of the Savage raid fights just because of their final forms. But I'll have to actually get whole parties of people that sort of know what they're doing. Because even with a party of 80s, you still have to respect some mechanics, and the fights won't die in like 2 minutes. They'll take about half the time they did when they were current. Watcher be like, I don't want to do no talking, I only want to fight, bitch. And I ain't gonna do no talking until you fight me, bitch. Clyde's like, the fuck? Well, it seems legit. And basically that's where I'm going to stop for now. Because, you know, if you hadn't guessed by now, since it's a fight, it's an instance battle. How about that? Honey, they like fighting. That's the logic. But for now, next time we could open with the fight against her, but next time I'm going to open with the Wreath of Snakes, so we can go ahead and get Seiryu out of the way. And then I'll come here and fight with Sadu. But until then, thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a good day.